Écoutez, à midi.
Quelle heure est-il?
Il est midi.
C'est l'heure de déjeuner.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a à manger?
Des saucisses, sans doute.
Écoutez et répétez. À midi.
Hi. Hi everyone. I'm just going to share the link while I wait for people to arrive, so just bear with me. Good morning, happy Saturday. Who is enjoying the fact that it is sunny this morning? Isn't that nice? Oh, so nice after the week we've had. Nice to have some sunshine. Oh, we've got one person here. Hello, good morning. Two, I'm just sharing the link, guys. Just bear with me a minute. Then we're going to draw the competition. Ooh, competition. Share. Yes, the sun is great, isn't it? Right, there we go, sharing it. Oh, we've got 6 people, great start. Oh, I had so much fun last night getting all my my experimental paints ready. I'm really looking forward to showing you what I've made. Just going to share it again on a page. Yes, it is a beautiful day, isn't it? Beautiful. Okay, right, so let's get started with what we're up to today. So first off, I'm just going to draw the competition winners for the craft kit. So we had a macrame, well, we've got 5 macrame kits to give away. And that's for the workshop next week. So on the 20th, we're doing a macrame workshop. It's to make a bracelet or it can be an anklet. I've got them all mixed together here. But that's the kit. You get all the beads and the cords to make the bracelet next week. You don't need a kit to join us. So if you don't win a kit, you don't have to worry. You don't have to buy one. You just need some string to join us for the macrame next week because we're going to be concentrating on learning some knots. So yeah, you'll get to learn the knots even if you don't have the kit. The kit's not necessary. It's just nice beads that you can use in next week's workshop. Hi Emma. Okay, so let's draw the winners, the 5 winners of the macrame kit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I got my husband to write these down, so let's see if I can read his handwriting. Oh my gosh, Gemma B has won one. She won one last week. Gemma B, you're doing really well out of these competitions so far. And we've got Sandra and Case. And we've got Dawn Heisman. If you hear your name read out, just give us a shout out or message the page with your address. I'll contact you all later anyway. And Lisa Connery. And the last one, we've got Joanne. So if you've seen your name there, message the page or I will message you. And then I'm also just going to take a minute while we're just waiting for everyone to get here to tell you about next week, not next week, but the week after the macrame, we're doing like mosaic stained glass. So it's where you do mosaic, but you do it with see-through things. So you can create something like this to hang in your window. Looks like stained glass, all the light comes through it. Very nice. We're doing kits for that. So this is the kit. You can win a kit. We're giving away 3 of these. The competition has just gone live on our Facebook page, so make sure you enter it. You get your star shape, you get your little tiles to stick on. Oh, my cat's name is Bella. Sorry, I was just trying to see what the emoji was. Yeah, can you see Bella wandering around? She's keeping me company today. So this is the kit that you can win on our page this week. So go check out that competition if you want to win a kit. Again, you don't need the kit. You can use other things to make your mosaic, anything you've got. This is just a sheet of Perspex out of a picture frame. And these are great because you can paint them and cut them up with scissors to make your stained glass. Or you can use glass out of a picture frame, a bit more dangerous, but again, you can break it up, paint it. You need 2 sheets of glass, 1 to paint and 1 to be your base. And the same with the Perspex, 2 sheets. But I might do a little short video midweek to just give you a bit more information on getting ready for our stained glass workshop. Okay, we've got 11 people here. Claire's here. Lisa's here. Anyone else here? Right, so I get to show you all my fun potions I've been making. Oh my gosh, I love this. It's like cookery and art all combined into one. Ta-da! So I've been pre-preparing these because I wanted to be prepared. I think that's the best way to put it. So let's start talking about some of the things I've did. But I want to hear about what you're doing as well, because you might find some great colours that I haven't looked for. So I would love to see the colours you've come up with. Okay. Right, so this is something, when I was mixing all my paints, I made this. And I've left it overnight, and you can see it's got all the berries on and bits of beetroot. So I'm just going to take them off and see what kind of effect I get from just leaving it to soak into the watercolour paper naturally. So that's my strawberry off. That one was just a frozen strawberry. This one was a cooked strawberry. So you can see the sort of different colours you're going to get. Obviously these haven't dried properly yet. We've got some cooked beetroot here. This bit here was a fresh bit of beetroot. You can see the fresh beetroots are much more purpley pink than the cooked one. So you've got to think about that when you're making your natural paints, that everything you do to them affects the colour you get. So this is some cooked spinach. That's really bonded to the paper. Some more cooked spinach over here. And you see you're getting quite a fun painting already. And these are the blueberries. Delicious, right? So, it's quite cool what you can achieve, isn't it? You might want to consider varnishing these. You can use normal natural varnish, or I've been watching videos on making varnish with egg white, which is pretty cool. You kind of make it up with a bit of vinegar, some egg white, and you whisk it like you're making a meringue, and then you can use that to varnish your paints. Oh, I don't even know where to get started. Where should we get started? I guess I can talk you through all these different things I made, and we can try them out on the paper, see what they look like. So I've got watercolour paper here. It's good because it's nice and absorbent. Can cope with quite a lot of moisture from your natural paints. But you can use any paper. I was using some paper in my sketchbook the other night, which worked quite well. Right, so let's do a little colour chart, the colour samples. First things first, we have here, find a nice clean brush so I know I'm not going to get any contamination. This one is cooked blueberries. So I just boiled these blueberries up for a while, probably about 10 minutes. Really strong boil. We're going to look at this because we're going to look at different ways to change the colour. So blueberries are a really nice one because you get this nice purpley colour. It's quite faint. All these colours are quite faint. That seems to just be part of it. And then we look, blueberry is one that I know vinegar affects it, so this should be quite nice. I'll put a little bit on my plate there. I wonder if the camera is going to be subtle enough to pick up these differences. I'm just going to add a drop of vinegar to it. Mix that in. And I don't know if you can see that at home, but it's going a much like brighter, redder shade with the vinegar in it. So this is because, let me just see if I get this right. Do call me out if any of my pseudoscience is wrong. But the vinegar is an alkaline and the fruit is an acid. So that's why it affects it. So I've painted that on next to the original blueberry. And as you can see, I think, well, I can definitely see, those have come out quite different shades of a purpley pink. So that's nice. Nice first experiment. So this one here, this is red onion skins. I boiled this up last night, so I just put the red onion, quite a lot of red onion skins in a pot with some water, boiled it down, and then I've just left the onion skins in overnight to steep. That's a good word, isn't it? Steeping. Because I wanted to see, well, I thought it might change the colour, make it stronger. Oh, that's a really, really nice colour. That's quite a strong colour. Very similar to the blueberries. You might not need to try with all of these. They might end up all very similar. But I think it's nice to have a go. I think it's actually, when you put it on the paper, it's quite a bit redder. Those two blueberries are drying much more similarly than I thought they would. But we can try more vinegar and see how that goes down. Okay, I've got some blueberries here. These ones haven't been cooked. They've just been frozen. They're in a little dish. So I'm going to try the juice just fresh from the blueberries. Just try a third blueberry. Oh, and that's actually a much stronger colour than the cooked ones, which is interesting, isn't it? It's probably a bit more intense actually, because I haven't added any water to it. Let's see what next. I got some. So these are just your normal yellow onions. Again, I've just left them in to steep overnight. Let's see what colour we get with these. Oh, that's a lovely kind of orangey yellow. I'm going to put that on the other end of my spectrum, up the top. I should probably be writing down what all these are. Otherwise I'll forget. I'm probably not going to write down what they all are, just being honest. It's not really my style writing down what stuff is. Then next, let's try. So onion skins are one of the things that you have to cook. To get the colour out of onion skins, you have to cook them. Oh, vinegar is acid. Yeah, that makes sense. Because bicarbonate soda is the alkaline, isn't it? When you make it go fizzy. Right, so let's compare beetroots, because I've got some beetroot here. This is just beetroot that I've soaked in water overnight. And I've got beetroot here that I have boiled. So let's see the different colours we get from these two. Because I think they will be quite different colours. Let's have a look. So you can see that natural onion up there. You get that really nice orangey yellow. Right, so this is the cooked beetroot. I'll put it in the middle somewhere. Oh, and that's like a really, quite a powerful red, isn't it? That's quite nice. And then let's try the watery beetroot, the one that's just been soaked. So can you see the sort of difference in the colours there? Quite nice. Quite nice example. Right, probably be embarrassing because I haven't tested this out, but I'm just going to try some vinegar with some of these, see what happens. So here's a bit of the beetroot that I just soaked overnight. Let's try a drop of vinegar in that, see if anything changes. No. The vinegar does not affect the beetroot. There is no need to try that. There we go. I'm also cheating a bit here because I could have made my own charcoal, but I didn't. I have some charcoal that I bought. But obviously if you want to make your own charcoal, all you need is a small fire. I don't recommend doing that in the house. I'd probably do that outside. Yeah, you could, Lisa, you can just cook your dinner and then use what's left over to paint. So charcoal is a really good natural black, which obviously everyone likes black. Goes with everything, doesn't it? So this one is spinach. So I wanted to do more than one green. So I've got spinach and I've also got mint. I did boil both of these. I haven't just put them in boiling water. I put them in a pot and reduced them down a bit. But to be honest, I think you could get a really similar effect just by boiling a kettle and pouring water on your spinach or mint. And to be honest, I think there's a lot of green leaves out there. You could probably do a lot with any green leaves you have. Let's have a look. So this one's spinach. Oh, that's actually a really, really nice green. I'm glad I soaked that overnight because it was quite a pale green last night, but it seems to have got a bit more body to it. And then the mint, it is, like I said, it's really similar, but there's maybe a bit less colour in the mint, a bit more sort of yellowy brown. So we've got the spinach there and the mint there, which is a really subtle green. So the paints will, once they've dried into the paper, Teresa, the paints will keep, but I would maybe varnish them just to make sure that they don't go mouldy. But if you mix them up, if you cook them and you want to make sure you keep them for you just put them in the fridge and they'll keep for a long time in the fridge because there's not really much to go mouldy in them. It's just a pigment in the water really, as long as you take the lumps out. But yeah, don't keep them on the side because then they probably will go mouldy. Well, they'll definitely go mouldy, probably quite quickly. Right, who is next? We haven't even got into using the flour yet. Flour's the next stage. So I've got some turmeric paint here. Again, I just added boiling water to powdered turmeric. And that makes a really lovely paint because it is so nice and thick because it's got all the turmeric powder in it. Really yummy. And let's see what colour that is. Let's compare that to the onion. So we've got like a much more yellow down there. You see the onion's kind of like a browny yellow and then more like an ochre. And then we've got a mustardy yellow from the turmeric. Right, what's next? This is paprika. So again, I left this overnight just to see if we can get a bit more colour out of it. And boiling water with paprika in my mug. So I'm just going to paint some of this on. These colours are actually coming out a lot stronger than I thought they would. I mean, I don't know if you can see at home, but actually we're getting quite a nice spread of colours. Please let me know if you are using anything I haven't thought of, because I would love to see what you've got. That one was onion. So this is some cocoa powder, which I know I didn't put on the list, but I'm pretty sure this is going to make quite a nice brown. I'm just going to mix this up. I've got a little bit of water here. Also going to make your painting smell delicious. I'm sure you could use hot chocolate if you don't have cocoa powder. I think that would work really well. These paintings are going to be absolute meals, and that's part of the fun, really. I think come the autumn, you can get a lot more berries that maybe aren't so edible. Have an experiment with them, see what colours you can get out of those. I think that could be really, really fun. Oh, that made this a bit thick. It's going to be like spreading Nutella on my painting. Let's put a bit more water in that. Yeah, it is actually. It's a really good skin tone. And I think that's what's really nice about these natural paints actually, is the kind of, I just think the colours you get, they're so much more interesting than colours from like store-bought paints. Oh yeah, look at that. That cocoa's really, really got a lovely brown there. You see? And again, much more of a skin tone than you would maybe get from using like standard watercolour paint, I think. Much more natural. Right, who is next? So with the charcoal, if you are using charcoal, I'm going to try just grinding some up with a pestle and mortar to make paint. Oh, good start. So I'd recommend breaking this into small bits before you grind it up, or you may flick it across your kitchen. You don't need a pestle and mortar, but I have one and I never use it, so I thought this was the perfect thing for it. So make a nice powder there. I'm just going to mix it in here because I don't think I've got anything else. I'm going to pop in the pestle and mortar. Just a little bit of water in with the charcoal. Let's mix that up. Oh, this is so much fun. I feel like a don't know, an alchemist working on my potions. Yes, I have got some coffee to try in a minute. I decided not to do tea. I don't know why. I probably should have. Could have got some great colours with tea. So the charcoal's kind of, it's a bit grey and it kind of has a little lumps in it, but I think the texture of natural paint is part of their beauty, really. In a minute we're going to start mixing these together and see what other exciting colours we can come up with. Right, what else? What else have we done? Oh, the strawberries. So I've got some, these are just defrosted strawberries that I've had in the freezer. And then I've got some cooked strawberry here. Basically I've made jam to paint with. But let's see how those two differ. Right, we've got the cooked strawberry. Whoa, it is just like jam, to be honest. So this one I think might go mouldy, but I don't know. I think once it dries out, you know, the paper soaks up the water. I don't know if it would go mouldy because it'll be totally dry. I'll tell you what, I'll keep my samples and let you guys know if they go mouldy or not. I might varnish the painting I'm going to do in a minute. And this is the fresh strawberry. Oh, actually, those colours are really similar. I wasn't sure if they would be different. Now, because the strawberries are berries again, I think the vinegar might affect them. So I'm just going to, so do you want to see the two, that's the darker strawberry is the cooked one, and then the paler strawberry is the just defrosted one. I'm going to try a little bit of vinegar with the strawberry, see if it affects it. Yeah, have a go with the just defrosted strawberry. Let's add a little vinegar to that, see what happens. I think ideally you'd be using white distilled vinegar, but it's harder to get, and I've got malt vinegar, and they are the same thing chemically, I think. Let's see, maybe it's made it a bit more of an orange. I'll paint it on and have a look. Well, it's made it paler, but I think it has changed the colour. It has changed the colour a bit. I don't know if you can really, can you see? Yeah, I think that is a bit different colour. Right, who's next? Oh, I'm going to talk to you about flour in a minute, mixing flour in with your natural pigments that you've got out. Oh, and I've got some ginger to try that I've just done. It's over by the kettle. Sorry, can't have everything ready. So I've just got a bit of ginger in this mug, got a kettle of boiling water. Just going to add a little bit to my ginger. See what we've got. Again, smells great. Got a nice gingery paste in there. Let's paint that on, see what colour we get. Can go down. Oh, no, that's a bit disappointing. I think maybe this one needs a bit of a soak. I mean, it definitely has some colour, but a lot of that colour is, it's kind of like a diarrhea brown. Let's call it diarrhea brown. Gross, right? What other colours have we? Oh, I've got my, so this is some coffee. It's not the instant stuff. The instant stuff works great for painting with, but I thought instant coffee, it's not very natural, is it? So this is like coffee grounds, and then I just reduced it a bit in a saucepan again. I mean, you could just use it straight out of the cafetiere, and I did try that, but it was very pale colour I got, so I'm hoping this might intensify it a bit. But let's have a look. Just kind of had a go at, Turkish coffee where you just cook the grounds in with the water. I just kind of did that to see what effect I'd get. Well, yeah, it's still quite watery, but it's nice, and actually looks great with a few little coffee grounds in it. So that's it there with the little dark specks in it. So you've got the cocoa and then the coffee, and then that sort of reddy brown at the end, that's the red onion. Well, I'm quite pleased with all these. So now I'm gonna do some mixing. See what other colours I can make. Oh, I just want to talk to you about adding flour as well, because this is the other fun experiment you can be doing. So this is the red onion one. So I've added just regular flour to this. The flour is kind of a white colour, so you do end up with a paler colour, but you end up with a much thicker paint that's going to have more solid pigment. So I had a think, because the flour that you get in a supermarket, just your standard cheap flour, the flour is quite often bleached. So I've also tried like a organic flour. Yeah, I know, right? Fancy flour for your paint. But this one has actually, I think it does make a darker colour, the organic flour, because it's obviously less white. So it's just adding like a thickening to your paint. Let me just show you, because these are with the onion skin. So then with flour mixed into it, show you the two options. See what you think, see if you can tell a difference. Because I might just be imagining it. You know, oh, the more expensive the flower, the better the paint's gonna look. That's a typical mistake the human brain would make. Yeah, I think I'm imagining it. I think they look pretty much exactly the same. So we've got those two little dots there. So they're the red onion skin with a flower mixed in, and then that dry one, that's the red onion skin without no flower in it. So you see you get like a sort of a thicker paint. You can see it kind of standing out from the paper there. So it's definitely worth having an experiment with mixing flour in with all of your paint. Oh, and I've got some berries here that I thought I could do some of it. So I got some blackberries. Obviously they're not in season, so you've got to pay loads for them in the shop at the moment. But when they are in season, great way to get free paint. Also, delicious way to make paint. You can totally eat those. Just gonna get a little dish to mash that up in. See what we can make. Let's see what colour you turn out. So I'm hoping that a blackberry is going to make a really nice blue colour. But you know, could be surprised. Have been before. Imagine I will be again. Other things when they come into season, elderberries, they're meant to be absolutely beautiful. Beautiful colours. You know, in this summer and obviously it's autumn, we're probably going to spend a lot more time entertaining ourselves than we're used to. So get out there, get in the hedgerows, see what you can find to make paint out of. Oh, I like that. Oh, it's got a lovely texture to it, the blackberry, because it's got like tiny little bits of blackberry in it. Do you see? So that one next to the brown there in the middle line, that's the blackberry. So again, I'm just going to try a little bit of vinegar with the blackberry because I know the vinegar affects the berries. So let's put some of that down on here. Let's add a drop of vinegar. Or 2 or 3. Let's see what we get. Oh, mixing in with a strawberry. No! Big colour purist. Oh dear, that sounded bad, didn't it? Oof. Right. So this is with the vinegar. Just put that one up there. Yeah, that has changed it. So with the vinegar, it's quite a bit redder. Do you think? Yeah, it's super cool that you get the seeds in the paint, isn't it? I love that. And like with the grounds, you get all the grounds in the paint. Oh, it's so nice working with these natural paints. Right, what colours am I going to try and make now? So I think I'm gonna experiment with the greens because I really want to use some green in my painting, but I'd like the green to be maybe try and get it more of an intense colour. So I'm going to try mixing some of the blueberries, get the purple colour, and the purpley blue from the blueberries with a bit of the turmeric yellow and see what shade of green we get with that. So the turmeric is good because we can get some of the thick sludgy turmeric, and then some of the blueberry colour. I'm not sure this is going to work like normal paint, but you know, it's all about experimenting. No, that's gone brown. I can say, but let's put it down anyway. Let's see what colour we get. Oh, we've kind of made like a darker turmeric. It's actually quite similar to the ginger colour, which I've put it next to, so you can really see how similar it is. See that one in the corner there? Right, so let's put that over to one side. So I did see, obviously I did a bit of research before doing this, and someone made quite a nice kind of green colour. You wouldn't expect it to be green, but they used some charcoal in water. And they used that with a little bit of turmeric. I think I used way too much turmeric in that last one, so I'm just really going to use a tiny bit, see what colour I get. I think the turmeric is a much stronger colour than a lot of the other ones we're using here, so if you're mixing it, use it really sparingly. I'm learning as we go along. Oh, but maybe not quite that sparingly. I think we can put a little bit more turmeric in. So let's go for another couple of drops, see what we get. Let's mix that in. I see what they mean. It is kind of going a bit green. Oh yeah, it's kind of like a khaki green, like a greeny brown, military green. Yeah, let me show you. So we've got that one that's kind of like really dark green there. So I might just try that. Try it with a little bit more turmeric, see what we get. So please, if you're having a go at this, please, 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 like I always say, do send us pictures of your work, because especially with this, I'd love to see if you tried anything that I didn't have or that I haven't tried. I just want to, you know, I want to know all your secrets. So tell me what you've got. And we've had so many lovely photos of people's work this week. It's been really, really a massive pleasure to receive those. So please don't stop sending us photos of what you make. You can just message them to the page. So there's a little button at the top of the page where it tells you can message us. Message us pictures of anything you've made in these workshops, because it's just so nice to see. So I've done a little swatch where it goes from the sort of darker green, and I've added more turmeric as I've gone along to see what sort of shades I can get. And now I'm gonna try and mix an orange. Woohoo! So I'm gonna look for the best red, and I think the best red is the cooked beetroot. We got really strong red out of that. Yeah, I cooked this beetroot quite a lot to get that colour, and really reduced the liquid I had left. And I'm going to try mixing that with, I think probably again the turmeric, because you can't really beat turmeric yellow, really strong colour. So let's try that. So next week I'm doing macrame. It's a more advanced knot we're doing. Can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that's not the square knot, but you will see in lots of different macrame. So it's really good knot to learn. You can do lots of different patterns with it. Once you've learnt it, you can really, really mix it up and use it in all sorts of things. So please, please, please join me next week. I would love to do some macrame with you. Oh, the beetroot's quite a strong colour as well. It's fighting back against this turmeric. Oh, I think I've just overdone the turmeric, but that's okay. I think orange should have quite a lot of yellow in it, really, shouldn't it? Let's see what this is looking like. Yep, so I've got, that's quite a nice orange. It's quite a dark orange. See that little one line in the middle? I'm just going to try adding some more turmeric to it, see where I can get. Oh, I just want to show you this, because if you're not doing this, this is so beautiful. Can you see that? Can you see the turmeric and the beetroot? Look at that. That's really lovely. The way it's swirling around in that red. Stunning. Yeah, it's getting paler. More turmeric. Should have put less beetroot in this. I realise now. Doesn't seem to be getting more orange, sort of seems to be going more brown. But I guess that's the joy of natural paints. They're kind of not going to work exactly the same as when you mix your acrylics together. You're not going to get exactly the same effect as you might think you would. All part of the fun. Yeah, okay. So there we go. I think we've made it to quite a nice orange colour there. We'll add a bit more beetroot if I wanted to get back to a darker orange. Right, so I think I might actually do some painting now. Now I know what colours I've got. I just want to show you these blueberries because they have actually dried to being a really nice shade of blue. Can you see that? They were quite purple when they went on, but do they look a bit grey in the camera? Well, in real life, the blueberries look very blue. They are really beautiful. This is where I wish I'd written down what I'd done because I can't remember what that purple was. I'll work it out. I'll work it out as I go along. It's fine. I've got this. Okay, so I'm thinking, because I'm using all natural colours, I'm going to be inspired by nature in my painting. So I'm going to do like leaves and flowers and like a garden scene. So that's going to be my theme. Obviously, you guys should take whatever theme you want. You may have already started your painting, just been listening to me whittering in the background, thinking, oh yeah, I could actually use a bit of orange there. Maybe I'll mix my beetroot and turmeric together. Okay. So I'm gonna, oh, we haven't even done the flower mixing yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off using my colours like watercolours on the paper, and then if I want a stronger colour somewhere, if I want a thicker colour, then I'm going to take a bit of that paint, add some flour, and then use it. So I'm just going to start off using the watery colours, and then as I go along, maybe add in some others. So I'm going to start off making some little yellow dandelions over here. I'm going to start off with a turmeric dandelion. Lovely. That's for the small one. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I've been joined by a couple of flies who are keeping me company. I can hear them buzzing around my head. It's real great, really entertaining for me. Very relaxing sound. Let's get some onions involved. So I'm going to use the onion skin to make some of my bigger dandelions. And I'm already starting to think with the onion skin, I'm like, I wouldn't mind it if that was like a thicker pigment, maybe a thicker, stronger colour. So I'm thinking I'm going to mix it with a little bit of flour. Just gonna pop a little bit of flour on my plate. Probably better doing this in a little dish, but I figured I'd run out of dishes. So I'm just mixing the onion juice in with the flour. And it's starting to get the consistency of like an icing, because it's flour and water basically. But you're getting a much thicker paint there that you can use on your picture. So I'm just going to show you, because I think maybe you can't see in the glare, but that's some dandelion I've done there. Yes, Teresa, I was just thinking we need a close-up, don't we? You can't really see what I'm painting. So that's the dandelion, and I'm just going to add in the flowery paint to the middle. Well, maybe not just to the middle. And show you. So that's with the flower. And so you get much more darker bits and a nicer selection. So I'm just going to up a bit, down a bit. I'll do. Okay. No, I still can't see the picture real well. Let me just try turning over the overhead lights, see if that helps with the glare. Maybe then you'll be able to see. How's that? Can you see what I'm doing now? Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Right. Let's see. I'm going to add a little bit of the turmeric to my onion and flower. See if I can mix another colour. So that's a lovely thick golden colour. I can do that for my other dandelion. It's almost too thick, it doesn't really spread very well. Might have to add a bit more water to that. I want to paint with it. Smells like curry. Turmeric and onions. Yummy. So with the flower, you can really just like daub it on. You get really nice thick blobs of colour in your painting. Right, next I'm going to use the green. And again, I'm going to experiment with mixing it with some flour, see what effect I can get. So let's have a go with, I think I preferred the spinach green. It's definitely a better green. Yeah, what's the mint? Here we go, here's the spinach. If you add your flour first, you're going to make less of a mess, Beth. So when I mix it with the flour, it's going quite pale. Quite, yeah, but I'll give it a go, see what happens. Oh no, it's mixing with the beetroot. I won't worry about that too much just now. So I'm going to add on some stalks for my flour. They're really pale. I think they're too pale. Right, so scrap that. Not going to bother using the flour one mixed with it. I'm going to just use this like a watercolour paint, which is fine. Yeah, that's more colour to it. Oh, I think I'm going to try and do some dandelion plucks using the charcoal. I think that might have a really nice effect, especially if I water it down. You can see. Oh, can you see? I don't know. Light's really weird today. But you've got the spinach stalks. Let's do some dandelion leaves. Don't know if anyone else finds the weeds in their garden quite inspiring, but I love a good weed. I love how resilient they are, how I don't have to look after them, and how they can still be quite beautiful. So the green, it's nice, but it's coming out really faint. So I'm thinking that I'm going to use a darker colour to kind of try and boost it a bit. So I might use some of that khaki green that I mixed from the charcoal and the turmeric. See if I can just strengthen it a bit. So sort of keep some of the subtler bits of green, but also just use some of the darker khaki green to kind of give it more energy. Yeah, I think this is working. So I'm just kind of outlining it in the darker green to sort of give it more definition. There we go. You've got to remember by the colours, they do seem to dry a bit more intense than they look when you first put them on. So don't worry too much if you're not so happy with the effects, because the effects seem to change as they go along. Also just remember, you know, this is a process, it's about having fun. I think it's really important to be experimental with art. It really helps you learn and have a go, try new things. If you're just kind of trying to get it perfect every time, you're going to end up with some boring art. So make mistakes. Try different stuff. I mean, I guess that's why you guys are here. You want to try different stuff, so I don't need to tell you. Don't forget to enter our competition to win the stained glass mosaic kit. That competition's on the Facebook page now. So when you finish watching this live video, please enter. If you want to, you can give it a share. We love that because it's so hard getting people to sort of find out about what we're doing. It's so nice when you guys let your friends know and help us out. So I'm just trying a little bit of the cocoa in this leaf just to add a little bit of brown to it. So I've got the spinach green. Now I'm just using a little bit of cocoa to kind of outline it again. Smells good. Smells like chocolate and curry now. Chocolate curry, that sounds nice. Like a dessert curry. Does it sound nice or does it sound weird? Thanks for joining us. So you see the chocolate's given this leaf at the side here, much browner edge, but I kind of like that. You get lots of different colours in your leaves in nature. That's what I'm going for. Right, so I'm going to move on to some other flowers. I'm going to try one of the purpley blues. Yeah, I'm going to go with the blueberries. I'm going to try with some of the cooked blueberry. And again, I think I'm just going to mix it with flour first, see what effects I can get. Try a different brush. Not sure that one was full on clean. Yeah, I think I prefer the blueberry without any flower in it. I'm actually getting that impression with a lot of the colours. But it is an option, so try it out if you want to. I think probably if you're using like watercolour paper, then the effect's quite nice without the flower because the paper is very absorbent and it will soak up the extra liquid. But if you are using just regular paper, then the flower's quite good because it makes the paint a little bit less wet and maybe it won't make your paper crinkle up quite so much. Okay, so I'm doing a bigger purple flower here. Oh, the glare's still quite bad, isn't it? I wonder if I can do anything about that. Let's try angling the camera down a bit more. Ooh, that's too much. Let's try that. Because these paints are such lovely pale colours. Well, anyway, I hope you're not looking at my painting too much and you're getting on with your own work. That would be ideal. So this is when it would be really nice to have the two options of the cooked and the non-cooked, because you can use them to make different colours. So I'm going to do another one of these purple flowers, bluey purple flowers, but I'm going to do it in the raw blueberries, opposed to the cooked ones. So it'll be like a slightly different shade of the same colour, just like flowers are in nature. So that'll be quite nice. Oh, they look nice. Pleased with those. Great colours. Right, so let's move on to a beetrooty one. So I'm going with the natural beetroot because it's sort of a more pinky colour, which is what I'd quite like for these flowers that I'm doing up here. Just like a little tulipy flower. Oh yes, that beetroot's a gorgeous colour. Really like that. I think I might add a little bit of my cooked strawberry jam into these ones just to sort of give them two-tone. Put a little dollop of that in the middle. Let's add in some stems. It's time to get back involved in the spinach. hope you can see what I'm painting all right, guys. Gonna have to work on my lighting next week. It's because, you know, I'm so used to it being miserable and rainy on a Saturday. I don't know how to deal with this natural light. I'm stumped. Let's see a close-up of what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just painting some spinach stems on my flowers. There's my blueberry flowers, and I've got little turmeric and dandelions, and then over here I've got my beetroot and strawberry little tulipy ones. So I might have a go with some of that mint green because I didn't like the colour as much, but I don't want all my greens to be the same. So give it a go. Should have maybe waited until my pink flowers were dry because this stem's gone a bit pink. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about that. No mistakes, all entirely intentional. That's art. Add some little leaves on to the sides. Oh, I totally lost track of the time. I was having so much fun with you guys, talking about natural paints and everything, but it is actually 12 o'clock. Well, there we go, the sun's going away. You can probably see my painting now. It's 12 o'clock, so we're coming to the end of the workshop. So just some announcements. Next week's macrame. Please join me. Do some macrame. It's going to be, it's slightly more advanced, but you don't have to have ever done macrame before because we're going to go back to basics. It's a new knot, so we're not building on anything we have already learned. But if you want to try some macrame before then, there are a couple of other macrame videos. There's a bracelet making one on our YouTube channel that I did. Definitely worth a watch. There's loads of great stuff on our YouTube channel. So take a look at Studioname's YouTube channel. All our different artists are offering different videos there. So please have a look. We'd love to show you some new skills, some new hobbies. Please enter the competition for the stained glass kit so you can join us at the workshop. Again, you don't need the kits for the workshops. The kits are just some fun, something I've put together to help people see the kind of materials you can use for these workshops. Oh no, I splashed. It's all right, no accidents, all on purpose. Might do some more splashing. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me this week. Next week, macrame. I will see you there, I hope. And
Quelle heure est-il?
Il est midi.
C'est l'heure de déjeuner.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a à manger?
Thank you, Emma. Yeah, do have a go at it. Do have a go. It's so much fun. I'm going to put all these paints in the fridge and probably just like
À midi.
really go to town on it later because this is really enjoyable. I like the fact that it's a bit more unpredictable than you get your acrylics out and you know exactly the colour it says on the tube. This is so much more of a process and I'm really enjoying that about it. Really enjoying the give and take. So please send me your photos of anything you make.
Il est midi.
And yeah, I'd love to see what you get up to. So we'll see you next week for some macrame. Bye bye.
De déjeuner. De déjeuner. C'est l'heure de déjeuner.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a à manger? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?